cell phone charger's back there if you need one.
Thank you.
How's your day going?
Oh, great. Just getting started. Got a nice iced chai latte from right around the corner. Can't complain. And the weather's finally picking up.
Yes.
I'm hoping it stays this way for a while.
Are you exclusively a tea drinker, or do you do coffee as well?
I don't do coffee anymore. I cut caffeine.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's been like 2 or 3 months now.
Do you do matcha?
I haven't, but I
love matcha.
What is a matcha?
It's a type of green tea.
Okay.
But it makes really good lattes. It's sometimes kind of an acquired taste. Some people think it tastes like grass a little bit, but
Sure.
I like it, and it gives me like a calmer kind of energy than coffee does.
Yeah.
Like a lower level of energy and less anxious energy.
Nice. Yeah, that's exactly why I stopped with coffee, because
Yeah.
it's way too anxiety inducing.
Yeah, you should try matcha. You might love it, you might hate it.
Sure. I'll give it a shot.
It's really good for you too.
Nice. Yeah, depending on what the caffeine level is, that's really, because it messes with your sleep.
Yeah.
And the older I get, the harder that is to figure out. So.
It's less caffeine than black tea.
Oh, nice. Then that's perfect. Yeah, that's the level I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Because caffeine apparently is in everything.
Mm-hmm. Chocolate.
Yeah.
I hope you haven't given up chocolate though.
I can't. I'm a chocoholic.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
way.
that would just be bad for your mental health. I
Absolutely.
think.
And there's actually this one drink, it's called like cryo brew, which is powdered cacao. And I drink that, you like French press it, and it's really good. There's just no way to do it cold. I'm very much a cold beverage person.
I've tried I can't think what the name for it is, but it's like a mushroom-based latte. And it was actually really good. It tasted like a really subtle hot chocolate with cinnamon.
Yeah, oh, that sounds really good.
But it was,
right? Or something like that.
I don't know, but it was mushroom-based. I had it at some like bougie cafe, and it was really nice.
Yeah, those are good, especially if you can get a good mix with like a lot of actual mushrooms in it. Some of them say they put mushrooms, but maybe it's not the fruit. I'm a mycologist, so I'm like a nerd for mushrooms.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, but
Love that.
yeah, so like sometimes it's right, sometimes it's good, and like it's noticeable if it's the right ones, and like you can feel it like wake parts of your brain up that aren't normally awake, which is cool.
One of my favorite podcasts did an episode on mushrooms that you might enjoy. The podcast is called Ologies.
Ology, okay.
And she basically, for every episode, she picks an ology. So it could be mycology, it could be paleontology, it could be cellular biology, and then she has like the biggest expert she can find on the podcast and asks him a bunch of dumb questions.
That is so cool. I love
great.
that. Yeah, I'm totally going to check that out. So it's called Ology?
Ologies.
Ologies.
Yeah,
okay,
there's
cool.
an episode on mushrooms. My favorite episode though is on mosses. It's bryology.
Bryology.
And it's with Dr. Robin Kimmerer, who's a really incredible author, but also happens to have a great podcast voice.
Okay, nice.
She's like the most soothing. I'm like, I'll just fall asleep, but learning a lot about moss.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really fun podcast.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I like learning about random things.
Yeah, that's what I do. People get in the car and tell me all sorts of cool stuff, so I love it. Yeah.
Do you have any fun facts for him?
Nothing. All right. Well, still, we'll just make the right ones.
I need coffee. I'm still waiting.
She's gonna fall asleep back here.
Sure. You two do anything fun today?
I am in from out of town.
Okay.
And this lovely lady was my host for the first half of my trip. And she's bringing me to my host for the second half of the trip.
Oh, okay. Where are you visiting from?
I live in Denver.
Denver, okay.
Yeah. And then the three of us are going to go to the Logan Square Farmers Market.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Chicago really comes to life from Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Yeah.
So, like, every weekend there's something cool to do. Logan's a great area. The farmers markets are always fun.
Yeah.
Are you originally from Denver?
I'm originally from Iowa, so I am a Midwest girl.
Midwest, okay. So you understand all the temperature and humidity and all that here?
Love the humidity. My skin loves it.
Really? Oh, that's so interesting.
I use so much lotion in Denver. And I think the allergies here are actually better for me than they are in Denver because my body's like accustomed to the types of pollen.
Oh, that's interesting.
She was like, "Oh, the pollen's so bad. Be prepared." And I'm like, having a better time here than I did in Denver with
Oh, no.
the allergies. So
Yeah, I'm similar. Like I grew up in California, and
nice.
all of the stuff out there. In LA, I was fine because there's nothing alive in LA.
Uh-huh.
But where I grew up in wine country, I was allergic all the time. It came spring and
no.
summer. But then here, it's all different flora and fauna. So
Yeah.
like, it doesn't bother me at all.
my parents met in LA. So we used to go out there a lot. Not so much anymore, but
Yeah, I grew up in wine country, but LA is home to me. My phone number is like a 323. So did you spend time out here as well and then go to Denver?
no. We went to college though, about 2 hours away from here. So like I came up here a lot during college for different class trips and stuff like that. So I have a little bit of familiarity, but I've never lived out here.
What'd you study in college?
I was an environmental studies major.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So you're well aware that all of this weather patterns like snow until June last year is all climate change and destruction.
Yes.
Yeah, big believers in climate change and science.
Yes.
Yeah. What's crazy is like I believe in it. It's like, what do you mean? It's facts. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is what's
Yeah.
happening. It's observable.
Yeah. And my parents are both scientists as well, so we were raised with like science as religion, basically.
Sure. No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And then our college was very liberal.
Nice. So do you do anything in the environmental science field currently? Professionally?
I'm very lightly adjacent to it. I'm a nonprofit fundraiser,
Okay.
and I work for a nonprofit that helps. We battle energy inequity, so we help people afford their home energy.
Okay.
And part of that is increasing their energy efficiency and
Yeah.
making energy efficiency upgrades to their homes. So I'm kind of tangential to it.
Sure.
But yeah.
But yeah.
Fundraising doesn't necessarily directly use that subject matter.
Sure. It's just here's how you can write this off on your taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please help us out.
Please write me a bigger check than usual.
Yeah. But I think that's a great, like, subject matter for people, right? I mean, just to understand we could be more efficient. Did you see the whole thing with, like, Fox News blowing up about ovens being changed to electric, which is like, what?
That's a big, like, that's causing a big shift in our work is to move towards electrification. Like,
Yeah.
theoretically, it's great and it is a lot more environmentally friendly, but it's also an expensive investment that most low-income folks can't afford.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah, changing out the actual equipment. Yeah, ovens. I
Yeah.
have to replace all my stuff, and it's not cheap. So
Yeah. So we advocate for a lot of, like, if you're going to legally require electrification, if you're going to ask corporations to move in that direction, there needs to be more opportunities for low-income people to come along on that ride as well, because they can't afford to decide between the two options often.
sure, it's just like, well, this stove works. I've been using it forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't really afford to change it. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, see, and that's exactly it. There has to be, right? We can be forward thinking about being more environmentally friendly and conscious, and being more efficient
Equitable at
and
the same
equitable.
time.
But see, that's exactly it. But the equity has to be there too, and it's not. You know, like you could say, oh, get an electric car, but you can't afford a new car, so how's
Yeah.
that gonna happen?
Yeah. You're like, well, I drive a car from 1994, so
Yeah, it's just the only thing I've got.
it's not currently electric.
Yeah. Well, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I had an old Mustang. It was my first car. It's from like the 60s. And I blew up the engine on it when I was a kid, so that was fun. Like through my 20s. I say kid, that was my 20s. But I was going to convert it to electric for exactly that reason, because I was like, you know, I don't want to be dumping gas into it. It's a gas guzzler because it's a big engine. And then on top of that, they're just not as economically friendly as far as gas fuel economy goes.
Oh my god, the gas is so expensive out here.
Oh, you should see it in LA. It's way worse.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And yeah, and it's out in California, but I was like, oh, I'll convert it to electric. But even that, it's like $20,000. It's
Yeah.
not a cheap process.
Do you drive full time or is it a part time thing for
This
you?
is, a part-time thing. I'm actually, my 9 to 5 is I'm a cloud infrastructure engineer,
Oh, cool.
but I'm also a comedian.
Oh.
Yeah, so like this is the only way I could talk to people. I work from home and I live right not far from you actually in Edgewater, right by the Granville stop. So I'm like right there and I'm just inside all day not talking to people. So
Yeah.
I do this to like mine for
That's
material
funny.
or test new jokes out.
Yeah.
So either or.
Miranda takes improv classes at Second City.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's, like,
visited
a
a
big
friend
thing.
yesterday who takes improv class at Second City, and I just heard Second City, and I was like, what?
Yeah. There used to be another really big. Well, I don't know if they reopened or not, but the IO
IO.
Theater.
Yeah, that's
used
where
to
Chris
have
Farley came
a
from.
lot of improv.
Yep. Yeah, they did reopen. They're starting to do classes again. It seemed like they were
It's
closing
not
down.
under the same owner.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. They changed ownership, which I think was good because there were some issues with that owner.
Yeah, she sucked.
Yeah. So.
She was super racist.
Yeah.
It was like really bad. I had a couple friends who took classes there, and they met her, and they were not white, so she was like very rude to them.
Really?
Basically, was like, I'm surprised that you even want to do improv.
It's
Improv
good
is
they have
for
a
white
new
people.
owner.
What?
It was
Wow.
crazy. Yeah. That sucked though, because their shows were like so good.
Yeah.
It was sad when they closed down.
Yes, yeah, and they had a lot, and I've seen, it's weird that she was racist, but like I saw a lot of like trans performers that made that
Yeah.
part of their work, and so it's just so interesting to me how people can be bigoted in one way, but then not in another.
Well, and it's wild. Like improv in theater is like such a
Queer space.
Sure.
and it's supposed to be like an even playing field, right, for people
Yeah.
from all walks of life to be
Yeah.
able to just like play around
Exactly.
with characters and ideas and stuff.
And have fun, yeah, and that's the whole idea. Because at the end of the day, if you're funny, that's all that's supposed to matter, not
Yeah.
anything else. But so hopefully it's better. I definitely hope IO gets better. I do want to do improv just to make these conversations more fun. Like see
Yeah.
if I can do, have more fun rides and then bring more
Yeah.
comedy from there.
I just saw Cameron Esposito a few months ago.
How was it?
It was amazing. That was the first show I went to at Comedy Works. It was hilarious.
Nice. Yeah, Comedy Works is one of the stand-up clubs out there, right? Comedy clubs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Since you're on vacation, if you
Mhm.
could wake up anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would you want to go?
Belize.
Belize. I love that you had the answer ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's in South America, right?
Central America.
Central, okay.
Yeah. It's just beaches. Like, it's a small country. It's largely just beaches.
Oh, that's great.
And it has the best snorkeling.
Do you
A
like
lot of-
snorkeling?
I love snorkeling. I'd always rather be snorkeling.
That should be a bumper sticker. I'd rather
Yeah.
be snorkeling.
There's a lot of stingrays.
Okay. Have you ever been?
Yes. I went in college and I loved it. The food is really good.
Sure.
English is the primary language.
Oh, that's
So it
interesting.
was easy to
Yeah.
travel there. It's very cheap.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Good switch. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Mexican, so like I've been to Mexico a few times, but I really want to explore South America and Central America. I just want to keep going south.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully run into some ayahuasca on the way. We'll see.
I don't know. Honestly, there's like everywhere.
Somewhere you've been or somewhere you haven't been?
I have no idea, truly, because there's a
I'm gonna
million
pick for
places I
you.
want to go, and I've been lucky to
I
go to
would
a lot of
send
different
you
places.
to Thailand.
Mm.
Ben,
Well, you go again. Get some drunken noodles.
I did have like obviously the best Thai food in my life in Thailand. I don't know. I really want to go to Cuba.
Cuba. That's a good
If
one.
you go to Cuba, you have to like smoke a cigar and take some selfies.
I'm gonna bring Vin and Letty with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smoke a cigar.
Go driving. Rent a cool car.
My other Fast and Furious friends here.
Yeah.
We want to do a Fast and Furious world tour where we go to all of the
I'm coming.
all of the sites of the major
We
stunts.
spent the last 3 days marathoning the Fast and Furious franchise.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's great. How did that go?
We didn't
Everything
quite
of it.
finish it.
Okay.
We made it about halfway through 9.
Oh, wow, okay.
So we didn't get to watch Hobbs and Shaw. And we just saw the new movie, number 10, but we didn't get to rewatch it together. So we got close.
To be fair, I did watch half of the franchise last week. While I was on vacation, and Aer Lingus has all of the movies, so I watched most of them while flying.
Now, are fans of Fast and Furious called Fasties or Furiousies?
I have no idea,
Okay.
but
I know furries.
family. We're
Yeah.
just family.
We're just family.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I love Fast and the Furious. I saw
God.
a really funny meme that I'm like, this should be a thing where they were, because the gas prices were so bad, they're just like, the next Fast and Furious 11 is going to be on bicycles.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, there should be that. There should just be a Fast and Furious for bicyclists, especially like in the city.
I know the last couple of films, they've really kind of leaned into the absurdity of the franchise and really addressing the fact that like nobody ever dies and that all this like crazy shit happens. So they should talk about gas prices.
When we were like walking out of the apartment to leave, we were just getting to the part where they send 2 of the guys to space in a car.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw like a clip of that, and then because I haven't watched anything other than the first one, and then I just on like flipping channels one time in a hotel room, I just saw like parachuting vehicles. They
They did that in real life.
maneuvering
Was
with-
that 6?
That's 7.
Yeah.
They drop. Well, they do it again. Too.
Yeah.
But they actually
Threw cars out of the plane.
one of the previous directors of the
To
franchise was like really all about at least capturing some of the stunts in real life before adding CGI. So they actually dropped cars out of airplanes, which is
with parachutes.
just nuts.
That's hilarious. All right.
They did not actually send Ludacris to space, though.
I don't know. Jury's still
clarify.
out on that.
That was CGI.
I haven't seen Ludacris since then, so maybe
No,
he's
still
still
in
in
space.
space. He's at the International Space
It
Station.
was a one-way trip. They sent him up. Yeah, I think now I'm thinking about watching them just because I know they're absurd, and it's like with Sharknado, right? Like that level of absurdist.
They're absurd, but it's
better.
also incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cast is insane. We have Helen Mirren, we have Gal Gadot, we have Jason
Charlize.
Momoa now,
Whoa.
Charlize
You get
Theron.
everybody.
Wow.
Like, what's her Brie Larson?
Yeah, Brie Larson's in 10.
Really?
Yeah.
If there's
Jason
an actor.
Statham.
Yeah, I know he's in it.
My hero.
Yeah, all she cares about is Jason Statham, and all I care about is Charlize. So we're both
I
happy.
do care very deeply about Charlize.
But more about Jason.
Yeah, but no, equally, but in different ways.
Okay.
Like I told you, I want Charlize to punch me in the face, and I want Jason Statham to hold me, tuck me in.
They could both just go have her punch you and then just hold after.
You should give them a watch, though. They're very good.
Yeah.
I think you two have sold me on it.
I think they're just so campy.
Yeah.
Like you have to look at it as straight camp.
Yeah.
The first, 4 or 5 are truly, car racing movies, and then we move into, heist territory for a few, and then now we're in, saving the world territory.
With cars.
With-
Saving
And
the world
the
with
cars is, the theme throughout, but
Sure.
I like that we kind of hit on different subgenres of action movies.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, they are entirely about family.
And that's it. I heard they said it a
Found
lot.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like every other word out of Vin Diesel's mouth.
That's great. But that is a good message. Found family is a good message. Some people
Yeah.
need that, so I think that's great.
There's a podcast, How Did This Get Made?
Oh, I love that one.
They all also love the Fast and Furious franchise.
Sure.
Their live episodes, like where they debrief the movies when they come out, is really good.
Nice.
They just did one on Fast X with Seth Rogen.
Okay.
And June Diane Raphael is just like, she's one of the funniest women on earth.
She's so funny.
She's so
yeah.
naturally funny. And she asks the questions that people are like too afraid to ask about the movie. Like she'll just like blatantly point out like really severe plot holes.
Oh,
Just be
gosh.
like, are we really gonna buy into this, you guys? Like, it's really good. But Jason Mantzoukas is like just manic every time.
Yeah, he's so funny. Tons of energy. So funny.
Oh,
Paul
it's
Scheer,
such
so
a good podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on my list of like 30 podcasts that I don't have time to listen to.
I know, it's
now
so hard.
ologies is on there too.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just overwhelmed by podcasts.
If you want good content or good ideas maybe for how to get content out of people, Normal Gossip is a good podcast too.
Okay.
The whole concept is like strangers send in their gossip.
Ooh.
And the podcast host like reads it as like, oh, a friend of a friend told me this story, and they go through the whole gossip situation, and at different points they ask the like whoever's guest starring on that episode, like, what would you do in this situation? There's one about like oh, someone like gets a free trip to Southeast Asia basically with like her law school class. She like cons all of them out of like thousands of dollars and disappears like Anna Delvey style.
Nice. Okay.
It's good. The new season is like, it's not as good. The first two are better, but
Okay. Normal Gossip. I'll have to check it out. Maybe find a way to scam some future attorney.
there you go.
Yeah, I think that's a great
Start
idea.
stealing the identities of your riders.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that might be a good
That's gonna be the new Fast and Furious movie. Vin Diesel's a Lyft driver. And he's
Oh, they should get sponsored by
Yeah.
Uber, I feel like. Some of this opportunity.
All right.
perfect.
Well,
Thank
here
you so
go.
much.
Thank
Hey, thank you. I hope you have a great day,
You too.
And the back is open for you.
Thank you.